The governorship election there is 3 days away, and the politicians are anxious, the electorate can't wait, and the Electoral Commission, INEC, is making last-minute arrangements for the smooth conduct of the poll.
Absolutely. Now, on the show this morning, we will focus on the issues that will determine the outcome of that election. What decisions will guide the people's choice, and how prepared is the candidate who emerges winner to handle the challenges ahead in Osun State? TVC News senior political correspondent Ayodele Ozugbakun is joining us live from Osun State. Good morning to you, Ayo. What is happening over there today? What plans have been made?
As is that it's barely 24 hours, let's say 48 hours to the end of that campaign. You know, the election is in 3 days' time, and according to the Independent National Electoral Commission, by 12 midnight tomorrow, midnight tomorrow, they would have wrapped up with their campaign. And Friday is a campaign-free day here in Osun. What we witnessed yesterday was the All Progressive Congress having their campaign in Osogbo, while the People's Democratic Party actually had their own campaign in Ilesha here. We are right here in Ilesha, and I have a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, an elder statesman, and I would say a founding father of this state. Somebody that has been there throughout the UPN days, that worked with the late sage, that's Chief Obafemi Awolowo. I have with me here an elder statesman, Chief Ebenezer Babatope, popularly known as Ebino Topsy. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's talk about the dynamics of Osun politics when the state was created in 1991 by that military administration. What did you founding fathers have in mind for this state?
Well, we thank God for His mercies. Osun State was an integral part of the old Western region, and our politics was determined by the fact that we all speak the same language, and apart from that, we also virtually belong to a party that was led by Papa Obafemi Awolowo. And so apparently we didn't have too many complications. We didn't have too many contradictions. So we went into it, and at that time, I think there were two political parties at that time.
Two dominant political parties.
Two dominant political parties, founded by the then military president, Ibrahim Babangida, and we had Tommy Kimi's National Republican Convention, and we also had
Social Democratic Party,
led by Babagana Kingibe. So apparently, things were okay, we were going on well, going on fine, and up to this date, politics in the Osun State, despite the fact that we have different tongues, even though we are Yoruba, has been known without any problem.
How would you describe, since 1999, you've had Olagunsoye Ilola, you've had Rauf Aregbesola, at a point in time you had the Adeleke Senior governance in Osun State, and what are those things still lacking in in Osun State?
Well, I think that all the individuals I've mentioned, they came on stage and they played their part. And they played their part well, I must confess. Oyinola introduced the Feed the Children program, and you can say that for many things. And the young man, Aregbesola, comes from this town, from my place. Yes, he did a lot in terms of road building. And I can assure you that there are things that will really sustain good governance in Osun State. And the people themselves are very, very, very alert politically, and they are prepared to do anything to ensure that they keep the pace on with the politics of the state. So we are not going to have too much of complication, like I said earlier, and things are going to move on fine. We are going to have a new government by the grace of God come the next elections, and so we move on.
Now, looking at in 2014, it was just two dominant political parties, the way we used to have it in Osun State. It was PDP, APC. In 2014, it was Senator Yola Omishore, now of the Social Democratic Party, then in PDP, and Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola seeking re-election. But right now, we've had people that they've said that, look, enough of the excesses of these two dominant political parties. Your People's Democratic Party, we've had Yola Omishore moving out of the People's Democratic Party, going to the Social Democratic Party. We've had the SSG of Osun State Adeoti moving to
ADP, yes.
Now we now have a situation that we are faced with. We have to choose between some strong political parties, and seems to be a balance of power. SDP is there, Omishore is coming strong, the People's Democratic Party, your party is there, Adeleke is waxing strong, and we have Boyega Oyetola of the All Progressive Congress, and not forgetting that we have the candidate of the ADC there. And yesterday we had a guest here of the Alliance for Democracy, young brilliant man. He has served in Lagos State Public Works before, architect Adegoke, and before he came to Osun State, he was in Oyo State to help them in terms of infrastructure. Now, we have more than 1.6 million registered voters, but as of today, the people that have collected their PVC, over 1 million people. Don't you see Osun State people being at a crossroad on the right choice?
Well, you see, elections are festivals of the politicians. We love to have elections. We only pray that we have good umpires who will not be biased and who definitely will do well in terms of maintaining free and fair elections. We are happy in Osun State that we don't do politics of cut my head or cut yours. We do politics of that I call objective politics. The people are definitely going to be.
Alliance for Democracy, young brilliant man. He has served in Lagos State Public Works before, architect Adegoke, and before he came to Osun State, he was in Oyo State to help them in terms of infrastructure. Now, we have more than 1.6 million registered voters, but as of today, the people that have collected their PVC, over 1 million people. Don't you see Osun State people being at a crossroad on the right choice?
Well, you see, elections are festivals of the politicians. We love to have elections. We only pray that we have good umpires who will not be biased and who definitely will do well in terms of maintaining free and fair elections. We are happy in Osun State that we don't do politics of cut my head or cut yours. We do politics of that I call objective politics. The people are definitely going to be very firm in their opinion to vote for anybody. I know the young men are impatient, and that's why we have so many of these parties. But we have one lock in Osun State here, which must be emphasized, and that is that we of Osun State, we have candidates who are very, very good, very, very good candidates. I've gone through the profile of almost all the gubernatorial candidates of all the parties, and they're good candidates, they're good materials. But the only thing I want to appeal to them is that they must not allow stupid, silly, narrow politics to enter into the dictionary, and they must not pollute the system. We are going to have elections once the INEC has made up its mind to give us a free and fair elections, which they must do. Then we are going to have a free and fair primaries, fair and fair elections, and anybody who emerges will know that it's governing a state where reasonable people are there to judge issues.
Ekiti State just had their election, and one very alarming menace crept into our political lexicon is vote buying. Vote buying. Now you see politicians at ballot polling units immediately see and buy. I've seen when they see and they will pay you. There are people waiting around polling units to give you cash after voting or before voting. What have you done, or how have you spoken to the young generation so that this menace will not actually alter the true reflection of people's wish in?
Thank you very much for such a beautiful question. In fact, I can assure you that those of us of the People's Democratic Party, we have schooled our members never to have any belief in this chaotic political equation, whereby you have a issue whereby somebody will tell you, come and vote and go and prepare food. Diboko Sebe. I've not heard a thing in my lifetime until now. I mean, what's the meaning of Diboko Sebe? But I know that people for sure we're going to break through that. But we must appeal to INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, to ensure that they arrest the criminals who go about parading this nonsense. and to also ensure that they give us credible elections. They must not manipulate the electoral wishes and democratic wishes of the people. Once they do that, then everything will be quite clear. I can assure you that these young men are not going to do anything which is going to tamper with the peace of the state. I tell you, I mean, in the Second Republic, I was the director organizer of the UPN, led by Paworo. My friend, the late Chuba Okadibo, was in the national vanguard of the MPN. We met one day at the WNTV station in Ibadan. You won't believe it. The two of us, even though we had the same background, because Chuba Okadibo was an official of the Nigerian Tennis Association, national at that time. I was an official of the National Tennis Association in Ikate Lawansin. We debated powerfully, but at the end of the day, when they said the time was over, we embraced each other and there was peace, no problem. I want to appeal to the young men that they must also imbibe that. But the only umpire that can do that to ensure that we have that is the INEC. The INEC must make up its mind never to interfere with elections and never to pollute the system. Those who are saying vote and go and cook meals, vote and go and own a house, once they are arrested, they must be handed over to the police for prosecution, immediate and prompt prosecution.
I read about you in Dari Babarisa's House of War, and when you look at the party ideology during your time, during the UPN days, during the MPN days, you discovered that it wasn't a common feature the way we see it now. It's so convenient for anybody in APC to jump to PDP. It's so convenient with anybody from PDP to jump to APC. That is done at will. Are you not, disturbed about the
Well, I am definitely one of those disturbed and alarmed about it. But then, you see, the climate differs from one zone to the other, from one area to the other. You are talking of Second Republic politics. We still had men who were seasoned politicians. Their members believed in them. Like Papa Olo. Papa Olo was a seasoned politician. He was a teacher of men. He was a lawyer. He was brilliant. So it was difficult for any member of his party to just say, I'm going to revolt against this leader. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, they are all of blessed memory, was also very strong. Papa, we call him Ogbuefi. He was good. His members too also followed him. Madam Aminu Kano, the Talakawa revolutionary from Kano, he was there. He was there and doing his things. And you had this man, apostle of politics without bitterness, coming from Borno State. He also was quite good. So there were leaders in those days that were able to motivate their membership. But nowadays, you must excuse the young men. Many of them are young people. They didn't have this opportunity. We had. I'm 75 plus now. And these young men, many of them are 30s, 20s, 40s. So we are praying that they learn, but we are not praying that they should learn through the hard way, through bloodshed and through toil. So our politics is going to change. But the INEC, I keep on talking about INEC. The INEC must be a body that makes up its mind that the politics we play is politics that will not involve trading the democratic wishes of the people, trading the electoral wishes of the people for mere pots of porridge.
There was this clamor about zoning when this exercise, this 2018 exercise started, that it's meant to go to the Western Senatorial District, that anybody coming out. Do you believe in zoning? And are you part of this clamor?
Well, if you have zoning, that is, it means that you want to solve the administrative problems entangled with politics entirely. So you don't say no, don't say no to zoning. But then, if it is important for a political party to embrace zoning, then let the political party embrace zoning. But in our party, for example, it is true that there was clamor for the central zone from the west to produce candidate, but we never made it a cutthroat matter. If it came from there, good luck. And so we are happy that eventually it came from there. But it
wasn't like a policy.
No, it's not. Nobody can make it a policy. If you make it a policy, that would be alien to politics. But then there must be perfect understanding. If a particular area has been politically subjugated, that area must look for salvation and freedom. And so apparently, when it went to the West, some of us were happy, those of us who are veterans. I have nothing to contest for now. What do I want to ascend 5 plus? Do I want presidency? No, in my party, we have zoning to the north. I don't want to go to Senate. I don't want to go to the place. The younger people can go. But then, when we do anything, in terms of zoning, in terms of anything, let us do it with pure party interest and being guided by laudable principles, because at the end of the day, the people and people alone are the prime and motive force behind history.
Finally, let's talk about your political party in the national level now. We have like 14 aspirants coming out, you know, and on the 6th of October is going to be a very interesting day. But a lot of people are looking at post your primary election, that wouldn't this cause internal rancor within the party if they can't get a consensus candidate right now?
I'm happy that we have this situation, and I can assure you we are not going to have a senseless consensus candidacy that will destroy the party. All that we need to do is to ensure that the party bureaucrats at Abuja give us free platform for all the contestants to operate. Once they do that, let the field be open. If they can be 18, they can be 20. For as long as a man is defeated in a process in which he knows that he has not been debarred from getting access to the votes, he will not rock the boat. So all of them who are contesting now, they are good materials for national governance. There is not one of them. I mean, many of them were in the PDP before they veered away to the APC, and they are back. And we are going to ensure that we do not make the mistake of not giving them a free platform to operate. Once we do that, we are going to have very good elections, and we are going to assure the Nigerian people that the PDP that they have is a new PDP that is born out of experience and that is prepared to ensure that the people of Nigeria are given the best governance.
It's always a delight to talk to Chief Ebenezer Babatope,
aka
Bino Topsy. Anytime I sit down with you, it's always there's always something to pick out.
Thanks so
much. We look forward to a peaceful election come Saturday.
By the grace of God, we're going to have it. By the grace of God, we're going to have it. If the INEC makes up his mind not to rig the elections, if the INEC rigs the election, the INEC will sentence Nigeria to terrible lives of frustration and despair. That will be very, very, very dangerous. It doesn't happen overnight, but it builds up on gradual process. And once it gets to a crescendo, it bursts, and the whole nation will feel it. I don't want Nigeria to break.
The PDP chieftain there, Chief Ebenezer Babatope, and he was a close associate of the late sage, that Chief Obafemi Awolowo, is still onto our live studio, the breakfast show here in Osun 2018 governorship election. We are reaching you live from Ilesha. I take you over to Lagos, where the breakfast show continues.